I'm really sick and tired of the people of my generation, especially ages 18 to like 30 or so, making excuses or acting like they're going through the same hardships that our ancestors did during slavery and civil rights movement. In my opinion, I think it's a really slap in the face of MLK, Frederick Douglass, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, any other famous black person that struggled to make a country or make our people much more equal in this country. You're not going through anything that they went through. You have a job that pays you money. You're not a slave. You have a lunch break. You're not a slave. You have an 8-hour work day. If you have overtime 9 times out of 10, you're getting paid double for that. You're not a slave. You have retirement. You're not a slave. You have medical, health, dental, all the shit covered by your job. You're not a damn slave. When you say stuff like that, you're minimizing the stuff that our ancestors and people around the world still go through with slavery. But at the same time, you love to post pictures of slaves and the markings of slaves and slave beatings and racism and lynchings and stuff like that. While at the same time, you're undermining the suffering that those people actually went through so you can feel more self-righteous and be on the pedestal of these weirdo social justice warriors. Like, seriously? That's how pathetic and sad you want to go to. I don't know, make it seem like you're a victim and make excuses for your own troubles and problems in your life. None of you people are going through anything remotely close to our ancestors did, and I don't give a shit what you say. Unless you're getting whipped on the plantation and working 15-hour days in the hot sun, you're not a slave. Unless you don't have any right to your body or your mind or your freedom, you're not a slave. If you're getting paid, you're not a slave. Stop undermining what these people went through because you're so fucking soft. These people probably dreamt. They couldn't even imagine the luxuries that we have today. Air conditioning? Imagine telling a slave in Florida picking cotton from sunrise to sunset, being fucking torched in the sun, that AC will exist in about 200 years. That you could sit indoors and you'll be cooled down within like 5 or so minutes from an air vent. He can't even probably conceive of that. But he knows just the idea of it will probably bring so much pleasure and relief to him because all he knows is suffering and heat and the sun. But you and your AC want to act like you're equivalent to a slave or act like you're a slave or you're suffering the same pain of our ancestors. I swear, if you talk about generational trauma around me, I'm going to just walk away from you, and that's the best thing I can do, because I really think you're a dumbass. This generational trauma, it's so mind-bogglingly stupid, because they say this generational trauma is experienced by black people from slavery. But generational trauma is not just related to slavery. If you say, because the whole point of it was saying that seeing one person and slavery will be traumatic to a black person living today. What? Like, that is not it is not traumatic for me. It is fucked up because I'm seeing any person in bondage and being whipped and abused is fucked up. It could be modern times, it could be ancient times. It's not gonna be cool. So to act like I just need to have an ancestor that is tied to slavery for me to have generational trauma is ridiculous. Not to mention the fact that slavery has been around for tens of thousands of years. So if we're talking about generational trauma, let me ask you a question. If the people who were in Europe who were slaves for generations and generations and generations, shouldn't that generational trauma compound itself, and shouldn't that generational trauma that those Europeans were experiencing still be felt by the Europeans that transfer over from Europe to America? So wouldn't those white people that now live in America have some generational trauma too, since their ancestors were slaves from other white people for hundreds of years, or however long those families were in slavery? Like, when you really dive into some of this stupid stuff that these people say on these college campuses and then they put out on Twitter or social media, it really makes no damn sense. Because it's not even that hard to pick it apart, because they act like certain things only happen to black people, minorities. It is a human experience thing. It is not just a black person thing. And not only black people experience slavery. Slavery is still going on now in China and other countries around the world. And the funny thing is, the same people that talk about slavery and all this other woke shit use iPhones and use electronics made by slaves. Africans are in, honestly, slavery now. They're mining for minerals and gold and shit that we use in our jewelry, the shit we use in our electronics. Like, it's so stupid to me when I hear people talking about slavery and they live in a Western country and they're not a fucking slave, but they want to act like they're equivalent to our ancestors who actually were slaves. Like, well, you're so demented in your reality that I don't even know how to pull you out of it. And it's sad too because I see a lot of people like they went to college and they had all this shit spoon fed to them by the professor and they just ate it up. They didn't like second guess and say like, wait, that doesn't make any sense because I've seen all this other shit. I know all this other shit. I studied all this other shit. All the other shit I know contradicts this one line that you're saying. It undermines it completely. So all this shit about generational trauma or generational this, that, and the other because my ancestor was enslaved, like, nah, that's stupid. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just another reason why for us black people to not get off our ass and do the shit we capable of doing. And I'm not finna fall for that shit because I refuse to give up my fucking life, my one life that I have, complaining and shit about something that didn't happen to me. Seriously, think about it. Our ancestors cried and died and dreamt of something that we can experience today, and now we're gonna fucking sit here and act like we're them. Just spit on them while you're at it. In my opinion, just find their bones and spit on them because I'm willing to bet they would trade lives with you instantly if they could, and I wish they would. So your stupid ass could find out what slavery actually feels like. It just makes me sick, really. Just a callous use of words to make yourself feel better or make yourself feel more victimized. There is no beauty in being the victim. There is no glory in being the victim. None of that shit is good. I never heard being the victim as a positive connotation. It's always negative, but we seem to be always engaging in buzz terms or conversations or beliefs that makes us being the victim forever and ever and ever. And I'm not getting on this victimhood bullshit train that y'all want to ride on. Y'all can take the excuses over there and go cry in the corner with all the other people who can't fucking handle the real life and reality. Truth is, the world isn't fair. The world isn't nice. But the truth is, we're living in the most peaceful and fair time ever. So appreciate that and do little things to make the people around you better. It's your boy Logos. I appreciate you watching all the way to the end. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all next time.